This is an RNIB talking book.
The Poetry of William Wordsworth. The editor has written a preface. This edition must begin with what may seem an immodest claim. Here, for the first time, a selection of Wordsworth's work is offered in which the poems are ordered according to the date of their composition, and presented in texts which give as nearly as possible their earliest completed state. Wordsworth lived to an old age, and never stopped writing and publishing. The last collected edition he saw through the press was in 6 volumes, and even so did not include all that he had written. In the year of his death, the Prelude was published, and scholarly investigation has since added many more poems to the canon. For a 1-volume edition, selection was therefore necessary, and in a broad sense not difficult to make. Most readers, from his contemporaries onwards, have found the later poetry less compelling than the earlier, and scholars and critics have not really dissented from the common judgment. Most of the poems in this volume belong to the early period, which closed with the publication of The Excursion in 1814. Selection within this period, however, has not been easy, and I am aware that I have had to omit much that is vital for full understanding of Wordsworth's achievement in his greatest years. The list is dismayingly long. Descriptive sketches, Adventures on Salisbury Plain, The Borderers, Benjamin, The Waggoner, The White Doe of Rylstone, The Excursion. Wordsworth's powers as a prose writer are likewise not fully represented. The major public statements about poetry are all included, but not the fine insights scattered throughout the letters, nor the very important writings on more general matters, such as a letter to the Bishop of Llandaff, the Convention of Cintra, essays upon epitaphs, a guide through the district of the Lakes, or the postscript to Yarrow Revisited. Nonetheless, although all of these absences are to be regretted, this volume presents enough of the evidence for the reader to assess Coleridge's judgment on Wordsworth that, I quote, "In imaginative power he stands nearest of all modern writers to Shakespeare and Milton, and yet in a kind perfectly unborrowed and his own." The Poetry of William Wordsworth, edited by Stephen Gill. Section 1. An Evening Walk. An evening walk, an epistle in verse, addressed to a young lady from the lakes of the north of England.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?